It's time for the Property Podcast, where every week tens of thousands of property investors, new and experienced, join together to get news, knowledge and laughs at our expense. With me, Rob Bence.
And me, Rob Dix. Join us every Thursday morning for your weekly dose of property ideas and motivation. Then head over to our website at thepropertypodcast.com to keep the conversation going. Now though, let's get started.
Hello and welcome to the Property Podcast. It is episode 128. I'm Rob B. With me is Rob D, and we've got a special episode lined up for you today.
Yeah, do you fancy doing something a little bit different today, Rob?
Yeah, let's mix it up.
No one likes change. I don't like it when podcasts I listen to. They say, something a bit different today. But this is good different, because today's going to be a bit shorter, but it's all in the spirit of giving you even more to listen to. So it's a good change, really.
It is, but before we give you a big announcement, let's talk about another big announcement, and another big announcement we mentioned last week. If you missed last week's episode, we are bringing meetups to the majority of the country. Yes, we are bringing meetups everywhere monthly. So if you're in a major town or city, chances are you'll be able to join us on a meetup. We start in September, where we're launching a handful, and then from October we have a full launch with over 10 different venues. So if you want to check out more details on that and find out exactly what's going on and get yourself along to one, because it's absolutely free, they're super friendly and there's no selling, so why wouldn't you go to thepropertyhub.net/meetups.
Yep, we're going to be popping along to a different one every month. It's going to be the first Thursday of every month to keep it really easy. So put that in your diary right now, and you'll know that on the first Thursday of every month, you'll be able to go along, whether you're at home, whether you're traveling for business, wherever you are, you're going to be able to go along and on that Thursday, talk about property with a load of friendly people. So it's something that we're really excited about, because we always get such great feedback about the meetups that we do. We just don't do enough of them. So now we've recruited some enthusiastic leaders. We've put a team in place to make sure that this happens every single month, and it's going to be a load of fun. So I'm really excited about getting out there and meeting more property investors. So that's going to be kicking off in September, as Rob said. Expect to hear more about that very soon.
So that's last week's big announcement, Rob. But just to keep the trend going, we better tell everyone about the next one.
Yeah, so the reason that this episode is a bit different is that we're putting a temporary pause just for this week on the news story, on the resource of the week, and everything that we normally do to tell you about a brand new podcast that we're putting together. So we love hearing from you. We love answering questions, and we love getting down right into the nitty-gritty of property investment. It's fun to do all the big picture stuff, but it's also a lot of fun to dive into the details of specific situations. So we are launching a new weekly podcast called Ask Rob and Rob, where you get to, you guessed it, ask Rob and Rob. So you can call up, ask us any question, and we will answer it on this new weekly podcast. And this podcast is going to be every Tuesday. It's going to be dropped into the main feed. So if you're a subscriber to the Property Podcast already, you don't have to do anything at all. It's just going to magically show up on your device of choice every Thursday. So as well as the Property Podcast on a Thursday, nothing changes there at all. As well as that, you also get a short, sharp bit of property knowledge every Tuesday as well.
You do. So why have we done this? Well, one of the reasons is the value we can add. So as Rob said, talking big picture stuff, we reach a large percentage of people. It applies to the majority of them, and that's great. But from the summits that we do every quarter, we found that by talking to people about their individual situations, not only does it offer massive value to them, but it also offers massive value to the group. So how could we scale that? Well, the easiest way is to do a podcast. By putting in your situation, your scenario, we can discuss it, go through it, give you advice, actual advice that you can go away with, which is great. But it probably, almost certainly, will help the majority of other people as well. Because even if they don't take that strategy on themselves, they may be able to take aspects of it and apply it to their own situation. Or it may open up a whole new avenue you may not even have considered before. By doing these mini masterminds almost once a week for these people who call in, leave us a message, and we'll tell you how to do that shortly. For those people who do that, they're going to get this valuable personal time with us, except it's shared with tens of thousands of people. But the point is, the value gained for everybody out there is huge. We've seen it in all the summits we've done so far, that people come in, they talk about their own stuff, that's great, they get bags of value, but they get just as much, if not more, by listening to everyone else's scenarios and picking up different tips and ideas.
Yeah, exactly. And it's something that I actually do in written form on the Property Hub as well. I don't post as much as I should, but I'm always lurking in there. And I really enjoy reading some of the threads about things that I didn't particularly know anything about, and things that don't affect me right now, but it's just getting that bit of knowledge and storing it away. So it might be a question about leasehold. It might be something to do with regulations, but whatever it is, even if it's not relevant to what I'm doing this month or this year, I like to read about it because it's just building up that picture. And it's when you bring all these diverse ideas together and just one day something pops into your head and it's exactly what you need at the right time. So this is kind of like the audio version of that. And like Rob said, it's got the whole mini mastermind component as well, which is so much fun to do at the summit. So we've already recorded the first few episodes. We've got questions like, should property investors use a limited company? Something that's been coming up all the time recently. Is remortgaging always a good idea? Someone gives us a specific scenario to go through there. Can I submit my own tax return? Should I invest in the north or south? You can see that just from the first few episodes, there's a really massive scope that we can cover. So some of them are a little bit more general, and some of them are where people give us a specific situation and they're like, okay, this is what I want to get to. This is how much money I've got and what I can commit. What do I do? And we can give them tailored advice in that kind of way. So there's a real old mix. So while not every week is going to be absolutely relevant to you, there's often going to be something. And, if not, you can just skip it. It's okay. We don't mind.
So what do you need to do? Well, to listen, nothing. If you're subscribing to the podcast already, as Rob's already said, it's going to pop in your feed every Tuesday. So the exciting news is this Tuesday coming, you'll see the first episode. So a little bit disappointed there's no educational content today. Don't be disheartened. From Tuesday, you're going to get 2 podcasts a week. Ask Rob and Rob on the Tuesday, and the Property Podcast will be back as normal next Thursday. So I'm sure you can forgive us because now you're going to get double the content every single week. So you don't have to do anything if you want to listen. But if you want to get involved, if you want to ask a question, if you want your specific circumstances talked about, answered and helped with, then it's really, really easy how you submit a question. You can take 2 approaches. You can take the phone call. All you have to do is call this number. The number's really easy, and I promise I haven't had to re-record this 3 times. It's 013-808 00035. That's 013-808 00035. Got that in one, didn't I, Rob?
Absolutely flawless performance. You can also go to thepropertyhub.net/podcast, where you can leave a voicemail via your computer. So whether you want to use a phone or a computer, couldn't be easier. Ring up, listen for the beep, leave your message, and we'll answer you on the show. If Rob's flawless execution of that number was too quick for you to get it written down, don't worry. It's in the show notes at thepropertyhub.net/ask-special.
Thank goodness for editing. Right, okay, so long numbers through me. It's not like I have to work with numbers every day in my life. Right, okay, so as we said, you don't have to do anything. It's going to come into your inbox this Tuesday coming, so look forward to that. If you are enjoying all this lovely, juicy, free content, then go to iTunes. Take that extra couple of minutes out your day if you would, if you think what we're doing is valuable, and leave us a review. We'd be very, very grateful and happy because we are approaching 300 reviews, which is, to give you an idea, is more than any other business podcast. So in the whole business category, we've got more reviews than anybody else. So that's down to you because you obviously like what we do. So thank you so much. And thank you to the following. One Hit Kill says, this podcast gets better and better. The real relevant issues, especially for those who are new to the business. The most recent download spreadsheet by Ed Atkinson should be made into an app. I'd be the first to buy it. Thanks, Rob and Rob. Keep the good work going. Yeah, that was a great episode. We'll link to that in the show notes if you're not listening to that episode already. That was extremely popular, that episode. And actually, thank you to all the people who give us kind feedback on the episode where I lost a fair chunk of change. It's the episode's called How Rob B Lost 40,000. Sounds painful, it was, but I've had lots of nice emails and I spoke to a few people who've said they found that really valuable. So thank you to all those people who've left feedback.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. And funny you should mention the property crash episode with Ed Atkinson's spreadsheet, because someone emailed me a question about that the other day and I replied linking to that episode and I revisited it and thought, wow, this is just such great stuff, not necessarily because of us, but because of Ed's resource. And it's just a really, really fascinating topic. And really relevant at the moment when no one's quite sure what's going on with the changes that are happening and the future of the market. So absolutely go back and listen to that episode if you haven't already. It will be linked in the show notes, thepropertyhub.net/ask special.
Fantastic. So next Thursday, we'll be back. The Property Podcast will be back with another episode. Nothing's changed. We're going to be like we always have been, just delivering great value, giving you a news story, a resource. That'll be all back next Thursday. But you've got something in between this Tuesday, the brand new podcast. Please get behind it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find it as valuable as we think it will be. We'll soon see. We'll look forward to your feedback on that one. But until next week, everybody, thank you so much. And remember, if you'd like to leave a message, if you'd like to ask a question for the podcast, go to 013-808 00035.
All right, Robbo, it's just going to be getting exhausted now, so we'll have to give him a break. We've done the number twice now. But yeah, thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Property Podcast. Make sure you join our mailing list at thepropertypodcast.com.
And remember, we love 5-star reviews. Rob even loves them more than air miles.